Well, we were very inspired by the lesson this morning, which you, well, maybe have already gone into here, I guess. But we could do it together because it is such a wonderful, wonderful learning to realize how essential each of us are. We are completely essential. There is no way that salvation can happen without you. It would be impossible. But with the ego, that is what it tries to do all the time, is to remove you from your part, remove you from your function. That's like, that's what time is. It's like a constant removal of you from your function, from your present awareness of your function. And every moment, the possibility is there again to accept it. Just as God's Son completes his Father, so your part in it completes your Father's plan. Just as God's Son completes his Father, so your part in it completes your Father's plan. Your part in it completes your Father's plan. Salvation must reverse the mad belief in separate thoughts and separate bodies, which lead separate lives and go their separate ways. One function shared by separate minds unites them in one purpose, for each one of them is equally essential to them all. So while there is still a belief in separate minds, there is one function that is shared that unites those separate minds in one purpose. For each one is equally essential to them all. Each of our minds is equally essential to all of us. God's will for you is perfect happiness. Why should you choose to go against his will? God's will for you is perfect happiness. Why should you choose to go against his will? The part that he has saved for you to take in working out his plan is given you that you might be restored to what he wills. The part that he has saved for you to take in working out his plan is given you that you might be restored to what he wills. This part is as essential to his plan as to your happiness. Your joy must be complete to let his plan be understood by those to whom he sends you. And who does he send you? Everyone that you perceive, everyone that comes across your mind or your life. And they will see their function in your shining face and hear God calling to them in your happy laugh. You are indeed essential to God's plan. Without your joy, his joy is incomplete. Without your smile, the world cannot be saved. While you are sad, the light that God himself appointed as the means to save the world is dim and lusterless, and no one laughs because all laughter can but echo yours. I'll read that again. While you are sad, the light that God himself appointed as the means to save the world is dim and lusterless, and no one laughs because all laughter can but echo yours. You are indeed essential to God's plan. Just as your light increases every light that shines in heaven, so your joy on earth calls to all minds to let their sorrows go and take their place beside you in God's plan. God's messengers are joyous, and their joy heals sorrow and despair. They are the proof that God wills perfect happiness for all who will accept their Father's gifts as theirs. We will not let ourselves be sad today, for if we do, we fail to take the part that is essential to God's plan, as well as to our vision. Sadness is the sign that you would play another part instead of what has been assigned to you by God. Thus, do you fail to show the world how great the happiness He wills for you, and so you do not recognize that it is yours. If you fail to show the world the happiness that God wants for you, you won't recognize that it is yours. So the only way to recognize that happiness that God wills for you is yours is to share it with the world. And it's the most natural thing in the whole universe is to let that happiness come through you. And it's like the miracle. If it doesn't happen, if you don't experience it, something has gone wrong, is what Jesus says in the Course. There is some misunderstanding there if you don't feel this. Today we will attempt to understand joy is our function here. If you're sad, your part is unfulfilled, and all the world is thus deprived of joy along with you. God asks you to be happy so the world can see how much He loves His Son, and whilst no sorrow rises to abate His joy, no fear besets Him to disturb His peace. You are God's messenger today. You bring His happiness to all you look upon, His peace to everyone who looks on you and sees His message in your happy face. And in the practice periods, we are asked to have 5-minute practice periods where we feel happiness arise in us according to our Father's will and ours. So there is a way actually to feel this happiness arise in us because it is His will and it is our own. So unless there is an interfering force, an interfering will, something that wants to be angry or sad or fearful, then this is what will happen. But if there is an interfering force, we need to raise that up. We need to face that. We need to acknowledge that feeling and be willing to let it go. We need to offer some willingness to ourselves to relax there inside where that contraction is, and let spirit in and say, maybe we have been wrong about the reason for why we feel sad or angry. Maybe we are wrong, because we are, actually. We're always wrong about perception. Perception can but deceive. Perception comes from the wrong mind, from the belief that we're separate. Your part is essential to God's plan, and your part is to accept the happiness of God. And when you feel that, you will teach that, and you will learn that. It will be felt throughout the whole universe. And in your experience of the world, you will see it reflected back to you. Because there is no other way. The ego's plan is always that something should change outside. Someone should do it differently for us to be happy, and never ever will that work. And that's good news. That's good news, because that means that your mind is so very powerful. It's the Christ mind.
Early on, he says miracles are natural. You know, when they don't occur, something has gone wrong. We could make a different version of that. You know, your happiness is natural. When you're not feeling it, something has gone wrong. You know, it's actually normal. It's your natural state of being to be always happy. Without exception.
Yeah, and it's very encouraging, because when you notice that something has gone wrong, you have the power to go within and make it right, to switch, to press the switch inside, and to feel the naturalness of the joy of your function. And this is the only way out, is that we change our own mind. That is the only way out. We can try many other ways, but we will always be disappointed, because it is not going to work. Anger is not going to work. It doesn't work. But there are many layers to go through, and thank God for mighty companions. We can talk about it. We can communicate about what is felt and believed. Say, this is what I perceive, this is what I feel. I feel scared, or I feel angry, or I feel this or that. And usually there is a projection. When we're angry, we think someone has acted wrong. And even that we can share. I know I'm wrong about it, but my perception is this, my feelings are this, and I want to heal. Will you hold my hand? Will you help me realize that I'm wrong? That's the way to go. But if you accuse, if you attack, if you point finger, you won't get the companion with you, because the other one won't be able to reach you, because your attack is in the way. So that's how we can learn to use our relationship in a truly helpful way. Is to take responsibility for all those feelings and be willing that they go away, be willing to join. And it is a pride kicker. It will kick your pride. It just does. But the quicker you're able and open to let go of pride, the easier it gets, and the quicker you heal, quicker you can join. It's very humbling to the ego, but that's okay. It can be as humbling as it needs to be. The ego isn't real, isn't who you are. And I think that is the worst experience, is when you think the ego is who you are. When you identify as those feelings, as the rage or the sadness, then it is hard, you know. Then you do need mighty companions that know this is not who you are. They can show you, you are not this, you are not bad, lonely, afraid, angry. We see something else in you, and we join with that. So it's very, very powerful to have mighty companions. Compañeros poderosos. With the ego always wants to be a little bit right about something. It says, maybe I'm not right about it all, but I'm I think I'm right a little bit. Because I see that and I feel this and I know it. And that, but even that is, you know, we can question that. And that's the way to become happy. To question even what we think we're sure of. That's the journey. And that's how we join with spirit. Because if we're wrong about it, there must be something else. There must be a rightness available that is right about the light in you. And that's what we want to experience moment by moment.